Hello, welcome to the second part of this Photon first person shooter. Let's call it tutorial, but it's more about how to use the plugin, the Photon Cloud plugin for Unreal. Um, so in this video we are going to start with the animation. Um, the only thing we have as parts now is the is moving and is in air, and these are computed in local. As you can see, it's getting the movement component of the character, that is the owner, that is a pawn, and just check for the falling. Um, and for the other one is just to check if there is a movement. So we can compute this as well instead of replicating that. For the in-air we can check the previous position compared with the new position, and for the is moving is the same, almost the same. The only thing that changes the axis. Um, but we need another variable for the control. And in this case, we only need for the player controller rotation. We only need the yaw. The yaw is the only thing we need here, and it's a float. It's only one axis. And in this case, we need to go up to the anim graph, and we can disconnect this with Alt and click. In fact, let's convert these to local to component, and from here we need to get the spine of the skeleton. So there is something called fabric that is also in Unreal 4, so you can split that. And what you want to affect only the spline is 0, 1, but in the bone space you don't want to change the component. That means that it will compute the new I key. So the alpha is going to be the same, 0 for the location, and we can split this because we only need to change the yaw. And for us this will be the control, but the control timing is in the opposite direction, so you have to do a minus or subtract, and then you have a negative number, and then you can assign that. Now you have to convert that again, and there you go. Now you have a control yaw. If you change this, you will see. Um, Something is wrong. We need to change the tip bone to 0, 1 as well. Yeah, so from that you can go to the skeleton and check that. This is the montage skeleton is here. Yeah, so if you go to spine 1 and you rotate that, you see you move all the body, but this is going to affect all these bones up. This is the base, the pelvis. So that's our tip. Our root bone is the pelvis, this one. Yeah, this is the tip and this is the root. Okay, let's see if we change this now. Not working right. Let's see. What else do we need to change? We need to copy the target rotation. No, yeah. Too much. Yeah, so we have the jaw now. Right. Let's see if that works. As in our replication. Yeah, not yet. Why? Because we need to get our replicated data, this control jaw, and that is in the event graph. So you will need to get that just casting. Can cast this for our character. So after that, actually we can do a sequence here. And now we can set our control jaw. But we can set that only if it's not a local player, because the jaw is already applied from our controller in local, so we don't know about the controller in a replicated character. We actually don't need a controller. So now you can get the last control rotation. And from here you split that, and in this case the control is different, it's the pinch, not the jaw. Okay, let's see. Now it works. Perfect. Now we are going to compute. Let's comment this. Set mode player controller jaw. Now, maybe we can do this check before, right? And we can do the cast directly. And now to the check. So if it is a local one, we do this sequence. Local player settings. Otherwise, as a remote player, we can actually use this one. What is this? Yeah, so we need to do another sequence for the remote player. After setting the control rotation, we need to set these two. So we can compare um, get actor location. Need to get that from here, or we can ask the character directly. Nah, let's do it here. So get actor location and last location, and we can do a subtract, and this we can do r split, or no, not right now. Combine. So if the difference is a -1 and it's really well, if it's a +1, it's in air, so this should be greater than some number. Yeah, we need to what can we do? Yeah, we only need one. Yeah, I was right before. You only need this, and this is our tolerance for to be in the air. Air tolerance. Air tolerance. Um, Detection. And this can be let's start with 1. Okay, and now we need to set it's moving. Now to detect the movement, we need to check if there is any direction in these two axes. We can actually create a vector 2D. We don't need to make a 3D vector. And from here we can normalize this. We don't even need the safe version. And this should be enough. So we can get the squared distance the square magnitude, and this will be greater than the same tolerance, I think. To check if this is okay, we can watch this value, run the game, and then oh, it's moving. Oops. Maybe this value is too much. 0.1, maybe it's enough. 0.5. No, it's okay. Let's see how to debug this. Okay. Okay. You can see the value here. Okay, perfect. So we set our in-air is moving and the control all the animations, but there is something missing, that is the fire, the shooting of the projectile. We need to go back to the right, and yeah, we can pick it from here. And yeah, we have this event that is creating the projectiles. And this is a really important thing in this plugin. You need to always set the instigator when you create, spawn something that is property of any player, because if that thing that you spawn has a replicator component, it will use the instigator to replicate that. So the only thing you need to do here is to get your first person character and set it here. You can mark this as important for Photon Cloud. This just means that this object has an owner, a network owner. And there is another check you have to do. So we are not going to spawn projectiles from remotes. We spawn projectiles in local, and then we replicate the spawn of the object. And that is something that the replicator component does, but you can do that your own way. But for now, let's just check if this is a local player. So if this is a local player, we can spawn. Actually, we can create a custom event here and say local player spawn projectile. And now we can call that. But otherwise, the only thing you need to do is the cosmetics part. So you play the firing sound, and you play the montage. That is the part of the animation. But the thing is, you see, we need to check for the mesh again. So we need to select this depending on if it is a local player or not. So this is going here. Actually have this. So depending on that, if we are the local player, get the first person mesh, otherwise it's just the mesh, same as before, and just get the animation instance and play the montage. And that should be enough. The only thing we need to do now is to control our projectiles and replicate them. So this is the projectile Unreal did for this template. Maybe this part is more complicated, but not much. The only thing you need to start to do is to add this component. Sorry, the name is replicator. So there is a blueprint version, or you can create your own blueprint inheriting from one of those. For now, we are going to use this blueprint version. So what do we need to configure? The first thing you need to do is to set the type of replication you want. You can go to this category, cloud replication. So by default, it's replicating the location. But you want to change the owner role to request. Because when we spawn a projectile, it's the player that is spawning that the owner. So you can control that from your local player and let other players know that you own that object. The minimum distance to the location could be 0.01. It's not going to be reliable, but we want more speed because these projectiles are fast. More speed for the helping. And something also to change is the frequency for the movement. So instead of that, let's say 35. Okay. Okay, let's see. Pick the weapon, fire, and you can see I'm firing that. It's not the projectile is there, but the word is not acting the same because I'm not replicating the objects. But at least for now I have shooting. I can shoot a lot of this. The network is not going to fall. At least for now we only have 2 players. But if we have, I don't know, 300 projectiles per second and 16 players, then this is a problem. Okay. So what we can do is to now make these objects to be controlled by the master. As you see, they are all the same. So we can convert them all. These chamfer cubes. Chamfer cube. Yeah. If we select them all and we hide them, yeah, those are the objects. So we can pick one of them. I don't know, this one, and then compare this to a blueprint. So there is a button here in Unreal 5. This to convert this actor into a reusable blueprint class that can have script behavior. So the static mesh actor is okay. We can call this um, blueprint, chamfer cube, um, master controller, controlled, and the path will be blueprints. Okay, and this is our blueprint now. Now we have this object, but the rest of them can be using that one. Let's save everything. Replace with the new object we created, and now we have a lot of instances of this chamfer cube. Yeah. Okay. Why is this master controlled? Again, we are going to add the replicator, and in this case we can leave the master, but there are some things that will change. So we don't need to replicate anything at least at the beginning. We can also change these values to have a more reliable animation. But it's not reliable, it's more natural. And the send frequency can be 45. So what we do is to get our player component and bind on player. We need to get the API from here. Yeah, here is called PhotonRef. And now from here we bind the event for to on player joined room. And we can create a custom event right here on player joined. Now we can check if this is a player number. What we want to do is to request the ownership. So for that, you also use this. In fact, we can remove once this event is triggered. We can unbind this. It's important to unbind all the events you bind. Okay, so we can do unbind event from on player joined room, and you can select this. Now you want to do to set now the replication settings. So the first thing you need to do is to set the location replication. And you can share this enum and set your rotation replication, because we want to replicate the rotation, the location for this cube only from the master. We don't need the velocity actually. And then this is shared for local players, remote players, but master has to do something else. Because this component is going to remove the physics, so you can replicate the component, the transform for the root component. So yeah, you need to do this in this order. Sorry. So as the photon replicator component is going to disable the simulate physics, you want to re-enable that, and this is going to be for this one, that is the root component. So simulate physics only if we are the master. So from here we can get the ref for the photon cloud and ask, am I the master? Sorry, this is here. So you ask, is this the master? Yeah. Then replicate the physics. Not replicate, just simulate, and then this copy of the cube that is in local, because this is the master, is going to send all the replicator is going to send the location and the rotation. Right. Let's try, right? It's not working yet. Something is missing. Let's see. We need to set the coordinates. Let's see it now. So this is our client, and this is the master. Now it works. There are some issues. Let's change the lerp speed. Maybe 6. And try again. This is the client. And this is the master. Ah, it's better. Okay, let's go to finish now with this video. Um, Actually, we need more than one weapon, right? And this will have 2 players, so it's going to be something we need to change. Let's take a look to the rifle. So if this is not valid, we need another check. We need to check if the player has no rifle yet before assigning that, right? So if there is no rifle, then we can get one. Now we are not picking that one, and that's for the other player. It's not working. Why? Oh, actually, we need to move this later. Otherwise, we are breaking. Okay, this will work. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to fix that for the cube. So the cube, this needs something else. We need to, because the cube is controlled by the master. And this is a normal auth you will do in any relay server approach. So for this, we can save the thing we hit from the projectile. So we actually don't need to change the cube, but the projectile. Yeah, so there is something we can add, a new bar, and this is going to be heat, well, cube hash name. We can then hit something hash name, and this is an integer 64. Now, in order to use this rep notification that is in the core of Unreal, this is not Unreal networking, this is how the engine is made. So whenever you change this bar, now it will notify. So Unreal will notify, and Photon is going to grab that using this component. Only if you register that, in this list. We can first clear this, so we always have a clean list in this constructor, and then add, can split this and select self. This is the object where this property is, and then set this property name. From here you can actually call the cache if you want to have that already cached. There is no need, but it's okay to have it. And then we're going to set the collision in the gameplay. Because we want to detect hits. Regarding what the photon replicator is doing. And now we can check if this component is mine. That means I'm the owner. Then if I'm not the owner, we don't need the movement because the movement is replicated. So we can set a comment settings photon cloud, and now we have to change this event. So by default we are using an impulse and a destroy. We can remove that, and we will move this to the new method when something is replicated. We hit something, so we can grab that object that is replicated and impulse that. So for now, what we want to check is for now this check is just to cam is a master controller object that we hit. So we need to check that. The first thing we can do is getting this and checking if this is mine. In this case, I'm actually using the same code. We want to impulse that, and we will only calculate the impulse for the replication. So if this is local and I am the master of of the game, because I know that I'm the master because I'm simulating physics. It's a little bit confusing, right? The thing is, if we hit something and it is simulating physics, that will mean that in the case that it's a cube, we can actually move it. And if we can move it, it's because we are in the local and we are a master. And this doesn't need to be a rule for all the game. This is just for this game, but you can change the rules. And this is just an example of how to use the auth. So you get the velocity and the location of this projectile, and you have to add the impulse to the object, and you use the component to impulse. The component used to be a static mesh that is movable. Now, in the case it is not simulating physics, then we have to check again. Is this mine? So in the case it is mine, we get the component from the other actor. Only if there is a valid actor. And the component you get is another replicator. Get component by class, and then photon replicator. We use the plugin version for the blueprint, but you can select the one you want, or even the base class. And then the only thing you need to get is the replicator hash name. Hashed name. This hash name is the thing you want to set. Now this is going to be replicated because you add that in the things to observe. The replicator is going to grab that, check for the change, and send that its send frequency time. Now if it's not a valid actor, you can ignore everything. So it's an actor that has no replicator, so you don't need to set anything. So instead of destroying this projectile, we can create another event. Let's call this hide and disable. And this method should hide this projectile, and then you will grab this and set collision enabled to no collision, and the same for the sphere just in case. So we don't have more events for collision, and then you can program this to destroy with the lifespan, and you can promote this to lifespan after hit, and this can be 1.5 seconds. So we can call now, after adding the impulse to anything, this hide and disable, even if it's not valid because you hit something that well, no, not this one, because if it is not simulating physics, the projectile is going to delete itself after some time. Okay, so the last part is the part for the replication when this arrives from the network. So you get the component from here, you get the reference for Photon Cloud. So you check if I am the master. The case I am the master, then you need to do a sequence. You need to find that object. So you get the observe mechanic actors, not objects. And from here we are going to find, and we already have the hash, and this is already replicated. So what you need to do is to find that, and in the case it's there, you cast that to yeah, maybe this is objects. And then you can cast that to a replicator component, because the owner is the component, the owner of this hash, because the hash is the bar, and the bar is replicated by the photon. So the object that is unique is the component, not the owner. And now you can get the owner. And the owner has to be something that has at least a static mesh. So we get that static mesh component. I'm making a mesh, sorry. Now we can check from this component, is this is valid, is this simulating physics. Oops. And in that case, we can add the impulse. We copy it. But we are not replicating the velocity, but we have the actor location. So we can do two different things, because if the projectile is mine, I can actually use the impulse. So this can be a select. And now if this replicator is mine, means that this projectile is mine. In that case, I'm the local player, controller this, and we can actually use this speed. Otherwise, we have two options. We can compute the velocity and the impulse here, or we can replicate. But to save bandwidth, we can actually use the actor location and get um, the thing we hit that is actually here, and then you can do subtract, then you have the direction, and you can multiply this vector, I don't know, 600 maybe. You can promote this to a bar. Hit impulse, hit impulse, force, replicate, well, remote hit impulse. So that's the only thing neat. Because the master is the one that has to get this information if the projectile is not here, it's not local. So we need the mesh, and we have the mesh. So after the heat, the only thing we need to do is to hide and disable this projectile, and that should be all. Right? I'm the client and I'm hitting projectiles. Now if I move with the master, I will be able to do the same, right? Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time.